You're listening to the Spirit Podcast.
Hello, and welcome to the Spirit. I'm Beck, and with me is my wonderful co-host.
Hey guys, it's Rachel.
We're so glad you're here with us today as we explore the fascinating world of spirit guides. In this episode, we're diving into the unseen forces that guide us from the spirit realm. Those wise, loving entities who support and protect us on our life's journey. Whether you're new to the idea of spirit guides or you've been feeling their presence for years, today's conversation is sure to open your mind and your heart to the incredible guidance that's always available to us. We'll explore the different types of spirit guides, we'll share powerful stories of how they've impacted people's lives, and offer tips on how you can connect with your own guides. So get comfortable, take a deep breath, and let's embark on the spiritual journey together. Welcome to the Spirit. Hey, Rach.
Hey Beck.
Have you ever had a moment where you felt like a spirit guide was trying to send you a message?
Oh, definitely. Many times.
Oh, yeah? Tell me about it. What happened?
Well, synchronicities a lot of times happen to me. And, when I'm driving, a lot of times I'll see repeating numbers. First, you see a license plate. Then you see the price of gas. I look at the time. I look at my mileage. And it's all repeating numbers.
So the repeating numbers, the
Yes.
synchronicities.
Synchronicities. Sometimes I have had GPS completely take me a different way for no reason. Or when I'm driving, sometimes I'm in the car a lot. So a lot of things happen when I'm in the car. But sometimes I'll be driving to a destination that I drive a million times and I just don't go on the exit that I'm supposed to go on. And I feel like something directed me that way.
That's the best place to have a spirit guide, I think.
Yeah.
It's in the car.
Messages. I've heard voices call out to me, dreams, or sometimes I will just have an inner feeling as if someone is telling me something that isn't my own thoughts, if that makes sense.
That makes total sense. When I was remodeling this house, I was using my cane and having a really hard time getting around. And one of the construction people handed me my old sink and said, "Can you take this out of here?" And it was a big farmhouse sink. So I'm like, I can do this. And I remember coming out of the house with one hand with my cane and the other hand holding this big heavy sink. And it was snowing out. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to fall.
Oh my God.
Suddenly I felt half the sink lift up.
Oh,
Like someone was carrying it with me.
wow. That's cool.
It was really cool. It was amazing. I was in shock while it was happening.
Yeah, it would be too.
And then I just tossed it into the pile of junk that was to go into the big skip.
So you think somebody was helping you?
I do. I kept getting the name Richard when I was doing EVP. And years later, when I was speaking to a psychic medium channeler person, they said, you have a man named Richard and he's a general contractor. But he was only around for that time being. So it was a spirit guide that had come in to help me through that time in my life.
Okay.
And I thought, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, I have Edgar Allan Poe,
Mm-hmm.
which sounds so crazy every time I say it, but Eddie's always around. I think you can verify that for the listeners as well.
100%. He comes through. He even talks to me to tell her things when I do my own EVP sessions.
It's an amazing feeling when you can start identifying who are the guides that you have around you.
And animals, certain animals that will come in and out of your life.
I think so.
Repeating animals.
For sure.
Especially cardinals. When somebody passes, all of a sudden they start seeing cardinals.
Right.
Like crazy.
Oh, definitely. Before we dive deep into spirit guides, what was your first experience with them? Were you a skeptic or did you instantly feel a connection?
Before I really knew about spirit guides, one of my jobs that I had, my assistant manager, who taught me a lot of things that I didn't know about, she taught me about spirit guides. And she said she could see them and that she could draw them for me.
Oh, wow.
So I asked her if she could draw me spirit guides that she could see. So she drew me a picture of a Native American couple, a man and a woman, and one of them was on a horse, and one of them was standing aside. I don't know if the man was on the horse or the woman, but that was my first real experience with knowing about spirit guides.
I find that really interesting that many of us have Native American spirit guides.
Yeah. There's a great chance that we lived a Native American lifetime as well.
That could be. I know I too had one. Her name was Little Fawn, from what I was told.
Cool.
She was tomboyish, and I was a little sporty spice myself.
Mm-hmm.
So it was interesting that coincided. Now, I think since then it's changed over. I think I have all new spirit guides.
Mhm.
But at the time, that seemed pretty fitting to me. And that's a pretty cool name, Little Fawn. Do you think spirit guides are something that everyone has?
I think everybody has spirit guides. I just don't think that people are as connected with them. They'll be there silently working, whether you want to know that they're there or not.
If you could choose any spirit guide, angel, animal, ancestor to work with, who would you choose and why?
I really am drawn to communicating with my ancestor side of the guides because I feel very connected to my ancestors, and I believe that they have lived many lives with me and they stay around to assist me.
Mm-hmm.
I think the family that have passed in my lifetime now, I believe that they communicate with me. I think that is my preference.
Okay.
What about you?
I don't really have a preference as long as my guides that come in to work with me are just helping with the thing I'm doing at that time, maybe.
Mhm.
I think I've come to terms that kind of in chapters in your life, your guides may change out. And then you have
Sure.
that main guide that's with you from death till birth.
Mhm.
I'm fascinated with who decides to jump in and who I hear about when I'm able to speak with my team. What do you think is the most common way spirit guides communicate with us? Through dreams, signs, or maybe like a gut feeling?
I think it's different with everybody. Me personally, they communicate a lot through dreams. I am a very strong dreamer. So that's how my personal experience is. I also do think that the synchronicity of numbers and experiences or things like that really affect people, or the little signs that some people pick up and some people don't.
I think if you're open to seeing it, you see a lot more of it.
Right. But I do believe if you ask them, show me this, and then you do start seeing that, that is a great sign that they are showing you that and are communicating with you.
Yeah, and I think you have to be an open-minded person to do that because some people will always dismiss that as coincidence.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Do you believe that spirit guides have a specific role in our lives, or are they more like companions helping us along the way?
I do think that they have a role in our life, but they'll never interfere with your life. They are along for the ride. They can help you when it comes to like twists and turns in the road. They can give you warnings or let you know that you're on the right path, but they're not going to intervene. If you make a mistake, you're making your mistake, but they will be there to help you bounce back from that mistake. Like you said, some are with you for your whole life and some are going to be there for a little while. My belief is that some of our guides, before they can move beyond a certain level in the afterlife, they have to help us.
I think so. I think they had to learn in order to even be able to help us in the first place.
Right.
I think that there was maybe a test that they had to pass, or they had to specifically sign on for that role. Have you ever been given a sign from your spirit guide that felt so clear you couldn't ignore it?
There are times in situations that I knew not to go somewhere. My friends were going somewhere. I knew not to go. I'm not going. I'm staying home. I don't want to go.
But how do you differentiate that from intuitive, the gut, the higher self, as opposed to a spirit guide?
Sometimes it's hard to differentiate that. I believe if it is your intuition, you will feel it in that solar plexus. It's your body telling you. Sometimes I feel not to go somewhere, if it feels like someone in your head is telling you not to go, if it's in your mind, like in your mind, someone is saying, hey, don't go. But when my gut, I get that pit in my stomach, that is my intuition.
If you could ask your spirit guide one question right now, what would it be? I'd be like, what the fuck?
I'd like to know about my past life history. If they could tell me about that, that's really intriguing. But I guess another question is, am I on the right path? Am I doing the right thing?
That's probably the most obvious
Yeah.
one that we all ask. Am I on the right path? Can you guide me? Can you help me find the right path? I think you do have to ask too. I don't think it's just given to you. Can you help me with this?
If there's anything that they could tell me that I don't know, that would be helpful. It's hard because, as we've talked about, they are cryptic.
They are, and you have to be open and be able to solve the puzzles that are presented to you. Sometimes they're puzzle pieces that you have to put together. I don't think it's just laid out and spelled out for most of us. It's like you said, signs and symbols and things like that. Well, let's talk about what are spirit guides. Spirit guides are believed to be a non-physical entity or entities that assist individuals in their spiritual journey. They can be seen as benevolent beings, often from other planes of existence, who provide wisdom, guidance, and protection. Spirit guides can include ancestors, angels, or other forms of spiritual beings. What is the purpose of spirit guides? Things that we've talked about in the beginning. They help direct people on the right path. They offer wisdom and intuitive messages, particularly in moments of uncertainty. Spirit guides can aid in personal transformation, helping individuals overcome challenges, healing emotional wounds, and growing spiritually. And then connection with higher realms. They help bridge the gap between the physical world and the spiritual realms, providing insight from higher planes of existence.
Spirit guides, they can come in different forms. Depending on belief systems, spirit guides can be perceived as ancestors, angels, spirit animals, and other beings with connections to the spiritual realm.
Absolutely. People are guided by the spirits of their ancestors or loved ones that pass. They carry a familial wisdom that sometimes help individuals carry on the family legacy. Archangels, angels, celestial beings that are often associated with divine protection and spiritual teachings. Animal guides, animals in the spirit that can serve as powerful messengers. A wolf, for example, might represent intuition, while a bear may symbolize courage. And ascended masters, spiritual beings who were once human, but they reached a high level of spiritual development, like Buddha, Jesus. They guide individuals towards higher consciousness and enlightenment. How do spirit guides work? We've talked about actually a lot of this at the very beginning, but I think we should run through it. Intuition and inner voice. Many people receive messages through their own inner voice, their gut feelings, or a sense of knowing. And this happens during meditation or when you're open to spiritual insights. Again, it's a little gray area, like Rachel was saying. For her, she feels her intuition comes from her gut or your gut. Sorry, I'm speaking to you as you're not here.
From the solar plexus chakra.
Right. And then you feel like your spirit guides are communicating through your mind.
Yes.
They communicate clearly through vivid dreams, symbols, and visions. Symbols like animals, colors, numbers, they all have meanings. And if you can connect them, you can connect it to your guide. They can send signs that feel synchronistic, like repeated numbers, or messages that seem to appear just when needed. I know that you get 444 a lot.
All the time.
And that's connected to your mother that's passed.
Yes. And with the numbers, 444 represents protection. The universe and your spiritual guides are protecting you. So I feel like my mother is just constantly telling me that she is protecting me. And it's a very securing feeling.
I think that we have spirits that are around us, right? Those that we love that have passed that kind of come in and out. But I think your mother in particular signed on for a spirit guide for you.
Absolutely. And even with that 444, just a quick little story. After she passed, maybe not even a month, we started seeing the 444, learned that she liked that number. 44. And I had a dream. I communicated with her. We were sitting on her bed and I'm talking to her and I told her that I've been seeing 444. And she looked at me and she smiled and she said, "It's everywhere."
That's amazing.
Now my father, my sister, and I, every time we catch the time at 444, we'll screenshot it, send it to each other, and just say it's everywhere. It was a very impactful dream. I'll never forget it.
That's so beautiful. How lucky are you?
Very.
Well, they can come also through meditation and channeling. Some people can consciously connect with their spirit guides during meditation. Guided meditation practices or psychic mediums can be used to channel messages from spirit guides. If you're lucky enough to be able to do that, I have a little bit of a problem with meditation. I find meditation practices in different ways, like doing dishes, and listening to music, and taking a shower. But as far as sitting down and concentrating on a meditation, my mind starts racing. I have a hell of a time connecting in that way. But we all have different ways that we connect and channel and meditate.
I do practice meditation.
Okay.
I started off small, and it's normal for your mind to race, and you just got to let it go, and you let those thoughts come and then pass. And the longer you go, it starts to shift. So you start 5 minutes, then you go 10 minutes, and then you can go longer. And once you get into that flow of meditation, then you can really experience some incredible things and get the messages. For me, I can audibly hear voices. I call the psychic hotline.
Right.
Joe Dispenza in Becoming Supernatural, he actually teaches on walking meditation. So you could go take a walk in the woods, and as you're connected, like you can be in that meditative state and walking. So you don't have to just sit cross-legged. There are other forms of meditation that you can get connected to spirit and self.
I like that. Physical sensations is another way that you connect to your spirit guide. You feel this warmth or a tingling or a sudden shift in energy that can indicate the presence of a spirit guide. I know you felt that. I felt that for sure.
I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but if you're upset and you're crying and you feel alone, and all of a sudden you just feel this warm sensation as if somebody just came and gave you a hug and just calmed you and gave you calming energy. Or if you're stressed and you feel like you're hopeless or something to that extent, and then all of a sudden you just have this feeling that everything's going to be okay and you don't know why.
Yeah, I have. I've been in extreme pain where I felt a warm hand on my back, or the place that I was in pain, I felt someone sit on the bed with me. And it was beyond, it wasn't a ghostly thing. It wasn't a cold, ghostly thing. It was a warm feeling, like you said, a feeling of love and
Like the warm and fuzzies.
the warm and fuzzies. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, Spirit Seekers. Enjoying the show? Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to the Spirit. If you could you leave us a review on Apple or Spotify and share the love? We drop a new video every week over on our YouTube channel covering paranormal, conspiracy, high strangeness, and more. Have questions or you want to share your own spooky story? Drop us a line at tothespiritpod@gmail.com. Stay spirited. Let's talk about the role of spirit guides in decision making. There is a subtle influence. While spirit guides can't directly make decisions for us, they may subtly guide us towards aligning ourselves with our soul's purpose. They may influence us to follow our intuition, prompting us to take actions that serve our highest good. Guides respect our free will, so they don't impose themselves. They offer nudges or whispers that align with a person's greater life purpose. But the final decision always remains with the individual, always is with us. Let's talk about ways that we can connect to our spirit guides. Well, we already spoke about meditation, and that's a very common method. But before you try to connect, I think we need to set intentions. And it has to be clear intentions or asking specific questions. And I think this helps direct the energy and attention towards the desired connection. Creating a sacred space, a calm, peaceful environment is key. to tuning into spiritual messages. Some people like candles, they use crystals, they play soothing music. That'd be me. Or, right? To enhance their connection. Some people journal. They write down their thoughts, their feelings, and intuitive messages after a meditation or connection session can help clarify the messages that they've received. And then, of course, you've got your psychic and medium readings. Psychic practitioners or mediums can act as intermediaries, communicating directly with your spirit guides and then sharing their messages. I find that's the lazier way to go.
Yeah, and if you are open to it, you can practice divination. You can use cards, oracle decks, and communicate that way. A lot of times I will just say, what do the guides want to tell me? Pull a card, and they will give you your message.
Yeah.
I have a specific gratitude deck, and as I shuffle, it's always guides, ancestors, allow me to see the card and the message that's meant for me, so mote it be. And that's like my direct communication with them.
And if you are open to it, sometimes the cards just fly right out of the deck.
They do. You've seen it.
Yes, we have. I'd like to share a little bit of a video from Dolores Cannon now,
Oh, I like her.
or an audio clip from Dolores Cannon.
Everyone, when they comes into a life, is never alone. They have a guardian angel that's assigned to them when they come into the life. They have to be with you your entire life. The guardian angel takes care of you and is there to assist you. It cannot interfere, but it's there to assist you. But most people think they're alone, and they don't know if there are guardian angels that are assigned to you when you come in. And they can't interfere. So they said, if you don't ask us for assistance, we don't have anyone to assist. So they like it if you can talk to them and tell them what you want, and they will take it and they will run with it. They will do miracles if they know what it is you want. But everyone has at least one guardian angel assigned to them when they come in. You can call it guide, guardian angel, whatever you want. But some people have more than one. Depends on how complicated their life is. You could have as many as 4 or more, taking care of different parts of your life. But if your life changes, it goes in a different direction, some of these guardian angels will change place, and another one comes in that has more expertise in what you're working on. But as a rule, you have at least one main one that stays with you your entire life. And angels are just, they call the messengers, is what they really are. They are living on the other side, and many of them have never wanted to incarnate into human form. They have no desire to. They like to stay over there and mind the store, take care of the things that are going on Earth. But they're just another being that is there. And they're real. And a lot of times guardian angels are deceased relatives or things that have gone on. And their job is they decide, I want to take care of this person that they were close to and help with them after they've crossed over. But angels are just another part of God that have the jobs to do. And there's many, many more forms that you're not even aware of and you can't even imagine. Angels are just one part of it.
So there you go, from the wise woman herself.
She feels like your psychic grandma.
She does. She does feel like our psychic grandma. She's amazing. She's done an incredible body of work. And let's talk about the signs that spirit guides are present. Now, we all get those unexplained feelings, that sense of peace, that comfort we spoke about, the profound connection. That may be an indication that a spirit guide is nearby. Auditory messages, you said you open up that psychic hotline. Hearing specific names, words, or phrases can be a sign that the guide is attempting to communicate. And then again, animal appearances, a specific animal showing up repeatedly in your life could be an animal spirit guide offering protection or advice. And I believe in that, truly. When you live more in a urban setting, I think you're a little more limited as to what animals are going to come in and out. So it makes it even that more special.
Oh, sure.
Right? I've heard so many stories with people that have received ladybugs dragonflies,
Oh, yeah.
birds, robins,
Deer.
deer,
Deer are a big one.
foxes.
Yep.
Sometimes I get frogs, which is so random. They'll just be on the door, on my screen door, just hanging out. I'm like, that's so weird.
Cats.
And I'll have to look up, what does this mean?
And you never know what the cat is, too. If it's an actual cat or,
Right.
you know.
You really don't know what it is.
Or just even if it's just the way animals are acting around you out of the ordinary.
Yeah, they definitely have those senses, that sixth sense to tell you something's around. And depending on their behavior, I think you're going to feel what that is.
It's interesting. I haven't seen cardinals as often as I have in the past. I don't know if this happens to you, but every time I'm at Andrea's in her salon, there's always cardinals in the window.
No, not for me.
I will see it right in the woods, and I'm like, there's a cardinal right there. She'll see the cardinal, or we always see some kind of magical animal.
I get a magical Lincoln doggy on my lap.
Little Lincoln. He is magical.
Trusting the feelings and insights that arise during spiritual practices is vital. So over time, you're going to develop a stronger ability to discern the subtle messages from the spirit guides.
Mm-hmm.
Spirit guides can often help individuals heal from past trauma by guiding them towards self-love, forgiveness, and inner peace. And they may help uncover unresolved emotions or past life issues that require attention, leading to personal transformation and growth. When you're facing major life challenges, spirit guides can offer support by helping individuals see the lessons hidden within their struggles, teaching resilience and patience and acceptance. One of the primary roles of spirit guides is helping an individual understand and fulfill their soul's purpose. And that was your main question. Guides, they may direct you towards experiences, relationships, or paths that resonate with your deepest calling.
That is true. And specifically for you and I, we have experienced a lot in our lives, as of everyone, but with our spiritual connections and the ups and downs that we've experienced and we've learned lessons from, what I feel the spirits were guiding us to is being able to speak on this and to reach out to other people who experience things that we do and understanding why we experience the things we do and knowing that we're not alone.
I absolutely agree. There's a misconception that spirit guides are only for spiritual people. Spirit guides are available to everyone. Okay, they're not just there for those who are traditionally spiritual or religious. They are guiding forces accessible to anyone who seeks their assistance. We're trying to usher that in to anyone who may think, well, I may need a gift or an ability in order to access this. No, it's available to everyone. While guides offer wisdom and direction, they do not have omniscience. They help you make informed choices, but respect your free will and your life lessons. There's another misconception that spirit guides only communicate in certain ways. They communicate in many different ways, and they can work with you based on your unique perception and receptivity. They can adapt to your own personal style of receiving messages.
In a book I read, a psychic was talking about a man that wanted to have a communication with his wife that passed away. And he's driving down and he sees some kind of meteor or something fly in the sky. And it was very strange. And he saw that. He saw this other weird thing. He didn't even think anything of it. He went and saw the psychic and he's like, I don't get any messages. I don't see anything. And the psychic said, didn't you see the star I shot across the sky for you? Didn't you see this? Didn't you see that?
Yeah.
And he didn't make the connection that those things were signs.
A lot of people don't.
You can't obsess over every little pinfall as a sign, but if something seems a little out of the ordinary and it just is an experience for you, you have to assume that that was an experience for you to witness.
Like a meteor flying across. That's a rare.
A big shooting star in the sky.
It's a quick tutorial on figuring out your main spirit guide's name. If you are ready, the first thing you're going to do is close your eyes, take a deep breath in, protect your energy by imagining bright golden white light encasing your entire body. And then you are going to set your intention. You are going to say, I want to communicate with my spirit guide. I am only open to communicating with my spirit guide at this point in time. I would like to know their name. You're then going to say, please show or tell me in whatever way I am able to receive this information, either during this meditation or at some point later, what your name is. Take a few moments or a few minutes. Don't think. Just listen. Just pay attention. If you just simply know, a name just comes to you. You don't hear it, you don't see it, but you know it. That is claircognizance. Take that name and know that it is theirs. If you hear a name very clearly, you are clairaudient or clear hearing. And received through the throat chakra, you now know your spirit guide's name. Trust what you get. If you see a name, if you see the letters, either the first initial or the entire name, you are clairvoyant. That means you are clear seeing. Accept what you get and know that that is the name. And if there are no clear signs, if you don't see anything, you don't hear anything, and you just automatically know something, what I want you to do is throughout the rest of the day and in the days that follow, I want you to pay very close attention to what you see online, what you watch on TV, if you're reading a book, if you're out and about. If you keep seeing, hearing, or just running into the same name over and over again, chances are that is your spirit guide's way of showing you what their name is. If you've worked out a call sign with your guides, based on some of the other videos that I've made, I've tagged one in the comments here below, you should be able to use this as further confirmation. So if you've already worked out the call sign of your head tingling, your nose itching, or a little pulse or a twitch somewhere, and every time you think of that name or see that name, you get that tingle, itch, or pulse or twitch, that's further validation and confirmation of your guide's name.
And that was from Beth Parker, psychic medium. I want to give her credit. When we were listening to that, Rachel, what did you say to me?
I don't know why. I wasn't even really focusing on the name. I was just kind of listening to her. And the name Rhonda just came through.
Rhonda.
Swinging. Rhonda.
A spirit guide named Rhonda.
I don't know a Rhonda. I don't think I've
Are you
ever
getting
met
the
a
twitch
Rhonda.
in your toes? You getting anything? You're going to have to call out to Rhonda and see if you get anything from that.
I picture Rhonda as some, very mystical gypsy looking
See, I'm seeing a lady in a triller. It's funny because when you ask me, are you getting a name? I am such a split logical creative. Some people are more right-brained, and that's into the creative. But I have to compartmentalize because I run equipment and I have things that are organized. So I'm kind of in and out, and it's harder for me to focus spiritually on things when I'm doing logistical matters. So maybe Rhonda, come over and help me out.
Maybe she was like a card reader in the 80s or something.
Help me, Rhonda. Help.
What year was that name the most popular?
I want to, well, that song, Help Me, Rhonda, I think that was, had to been the 50s. Beach Boys era. 60s. Rhonda, I would think. Yeah. Not a very old spirit guide.
I'm going to have to talk to Rhonda. Hey, what she's about. Maybe we'll do a session and see if she comes through.
Yeah, I'm quite interested now.
Yeah.
One of the most famous examples of a spirit guide comes from the life of Joan of Arc, the French heroine and martyr. Joan claimed to have been guided by voices from saints and angels, most notably Saint Michael, Saint Catherine, and Saint Margaret. Joan believed that these voices came from divine sources, providing her with specific guidance on her mission to lead France to victory during the 100-Year War. The voices, which she called her voices of saints, instructed her to seek out Charles VII and assist him in securing his rightful throne. Joan's conviction was unwavering. Even in the face of skepticism and persecution, she was often described as having a profound spiritual connection with her guides, whom she saw as authoritative figures in her life's purpose. Her success in military campaigns and her eventual martyrdom became a testament to the strength of spirit-guided faith. So based on Joan's saints, she was guided by the voices of saints and angels. Tell me a little bit about the angels or the saints and what they represent.
Some of the angels that are connected as guides are archangels. In the hierarchy of angels, the archangels are the highest of them all. They're said to be made of pure love and bring us much needed messages. And some of the better known archangels are Archangel Ariel. She's nature's protector and connects you to the earth. Archangel Shamuel is the nurturer, teaching self-love and love of others. Archangel Gabriel is the messenger and helps you to receive clear messages. Archangel Michael is the leader and aids in most everything. You can also ask him to direct you to the best archangel to help you deal with your situation.
He is the warrior angel.
He's come through
Yeah.
in our sessions too. Archangel Uriel is the transformer and brings truth, light, and wisdom to bring about transformation. Then Archangel Zadkiel
Yeah.
is the forgiver, bringing you the strength and compassion and forgiving. So those are just a few popular or the most known examples of archangels.
Now, Raphael is my favorite because he's the healer. So I would often reach out to Raphael to help me when I had ailments. And believe it or not, chanting Raphael, breaking it up into syllables, it helped actually heal things on me. Now, I'm not saying I made miraculous healing, but it was, oh my God, my back's tweaked. I can't get out of bed and I got to go kayaking type of thing. And that actually helped me through. So I believe
That's
in
really
that.
cool.
Yeah. Apple's co-founder, Steve Jobs, is often cited as someone who had a deep connection with his intuition and spirit guides. Jobs was heavily influenced by various spiritual practices, including Zen Buddhism and Eastern philosophy, which he explored during his travels to India. Jobs openly spoke about his belief that his intuition was strongly linked to a higher power. In interviews, he often mentioned how his creative insights and groundbreaking ideas felt as though they came from somewhere else, often attributing his inspiration to a higher spiritual source. Though not directly interacting with a single spirit guide, Jobs was deeply influenced by the teaching of his spiritual mentors, such as Neem Karoli Baba. That's a Hindu saint. And then a Zen master, I don't know if I can say it, but it's Shunryu Suzuki. I'm apologizing if I'm butchering that because I'm unfamiliar with it. It's often believed that these spiritual influences and deeper wisdom they imparted to him helped shape his vision for Apple and his transformative role in the tech world. And I totally have to say that a lot of great works of art and technologies and music even has been channeled through spirit guides. Beethoven, some of the greatest creators.
And it's interesting because music by Beethoven has been shown to actually heal you when you listen to it.
One of my favorite guys, James Van Praagh, he's a renowned psychic medium and a spiritual teacher, and he helped countless people connect with loved ones on the other side. He's often seen as an example of someone who receives direct communication from his spirit guides.
I actually have one of his decks.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah.
I have several of his books, and I actually have a great prayer that comes from James Van Praagh when I connect to spirit. I say it often with you. Van Praagh has shared stories about how as a child he was able to communicate with spirits, even though he didn't fully understand what was happening at the time. Over the years, he honed his ability to connect with those who had passed and then developed a relationship with various spirit guides that assisted him in delivering messages to the living. Van Praagh has written about how his guides have helped him navigate his work, offering him comfort, wisdom, and encouragement. And through his mediumship, he's helped others receive closure and healing messages, often conveying that loved ones in spirit are still watching over them and that their guides are actively involved in the process. And I'm trying to think of the prayer that I use. Spirit friends, draw near to me. Spirit friends, speak clear to me. Spirit friends, slow down your voices, for when we hear, the heart rejoices. Give us glimpses of eternity. Let us know that you are free. Give us names and facts and places, and help us to remember heaven's graces. Send your thoughts upon me with emotion and simplicity as we sit together in peace, love, and harmony.
Nice. I've always wondered what you say. You always say it very low and fast.
I do. I go fast.
Who are your spirit guides? So there's 4 types of spirit guides. First one is what I like to call the being of lights. Being of lights are souls that never incarnated on this planet. They might have incarnated another version of Earth somewhere else or on another planet altogether, but hundreds of thousands of years ago. They have been with you since the beginning of the birth of your soul. They know you better than you know yourself. Those are my favorite. The second type is ancestors. Ancestors are souls that might be from the same family lineage as you, but they're not your grandparents or even not your great-grandparents. You have to understand, to become a guide, you have to ask to learn how to be a guide. Why is that? Because if someone knew you very well and they loved you, it would be very hard for that soul to let you have your free will. And if that free will consists in you making a mistake, they have to be willing and able to let you do that. If it was a parent or a grandparent and love you dearly, they would not be able to. And this is why direct family members usually are not spirit guides, maybe a few more generations back. Now, the third one is ascended masters. Ascended masters are just souls that had become enlightened during their reincarnation and no longer come back to reincarnate anywhere. And it's not just ascended masters from Earth. They can be ascended masters from any other universe. And the fourth one is the one I hesitate to say because people take it out of context. But sometimes a guide can be someone who has incarnated on this planet, but not during this life. For example, let's say one of your best friends from your last incarnation. And once you crossed over, that friend said to you, you know what, you go this time. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to learn how to be a guide. And for this life, I will guide you. That is possible. And it's usually a one-off. So you could have been a guide for somebody else in another life and learn how to do that. The same way somebody can learn how to do it for you, but it's usually from another life, not from this life. Anyhow, any question, let me know. Mallory Psychic Medium.
That was from Mallory Psychic.
Now, the Ascended Masters, I think, are fascinating. The first I heard about Ascended Masters was through Many Lives, Many Masters. And that is one I'd like to be able to connect with. When I read about them, it's just so intriguing, and they are so knowledgeable. Who are the masters?
That would be the Buddhas, the Jesus. Those would be the Kuan Yin. What I found interesting about what she said was that it's very rare for a family member or loved one to be your spirit guide because they love you so much. They are going to want to interfere.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'd have to be put through their paces in order to do that. And that's why she said it's usually an ancestor, someone that's very stepped back and removed from you, because they have to be able to watch you go through your struggles. And that's just very fascinating. I think it's very rare. And I think you're very lucky because I truly do believe if your mother isn't a guide to you, she is most definitely a part of a spirit team to you.
It is very crazy. There's got to be something about her and her spirit because she is very much with my father.
Okay.
Very much with my father, too. Just recently on Christmas night, my father stayed the night at my house. We both simultaneously had a dream that she came in, and we were just having our dream, and then she just appeared in the same way. And it really felt like she just knew we were both there, and she just came in like one after the other.
I will say this, I never met your mother, but she is so strong, and there are such strong spirits. There are passive, but there are strong ones, and your mom's a strong one. And she came immediately through my equipment for you. And ever since, she's been a part of it. She has been a part of it. Whether I'm lying in my bed with my headphones channeling through, she'll come right in. Are you a part of my team now or what? This is so cool.
It's crazy because the first time we did a session, she came through, and then it was every time more and more as time went on. And I think the more she learned and she developed and grew strength, she just came through stronger and stronger and stronger.
She did, and she's real strong. Let's talk about a personal story about Tasha. Tasha's a woman from a small town who shared her powerful story in a spiritual community about how her spirit guide helped her through a life-threatening situation. Tasha was in the middle of a difficult and draining divorce. One night, during a meditation, she felt a strong presence, a sense of guidance that was unmistakable. Her spirit guide spoke to her, urging her to leave the house and take a moment for herself. This seemingly simple suggestion turned into a life-saving moment when she later discovered that a tree near her house had fallen during a severe storm at that very time, just where she would have been standing.
Oh, wow.
The guide also encouraged her to pursue a different career path and let go of the toxic relationship. Over time, Tasha found her calling in holistic healing and started a therapy practice, and she helps others reconnect with spiritual guides. The experience not only saved her physically, but it marked the beginning of a new, more fulfilling chapter in her life. Again, you have to be open to it, though, right?
Yeah.
Then there's Sandra Ingerman. She's a renowned shamanic teacher and healer, and she's had multiple experiences with spirit guides throughout her life. In shamanic tradition, spirit guides are often encountered in journey work, where individuals enter an altered state of consciousness to communicate with the spiritual realm. Ingerman shares in her books how she worked to connect with her spirit guides, particularly during shamanic journeys in nature. These journeys often involve traveling to a lower world or an upper world where one can meet your guides who serve different roles, such as protectors, healers, or messengers. In one of her most memorable experiences, Ingerman encountered a coyote spirit guide, which showed her the importance of humor and adaptability in life. The animal guides are a common type of spirit guide in shamanic practices, and they offer important wisdom that help people understand their spiritual path. Then there's Dr. Mary Neal. She's an orthopedic surgeon that had a profound near-death experience, or NDE, while kayaking in South America. This was fascinating. I don't know if you've ever seen interviews of her or not, Rachel, but she encountered several spirit guides. After her kayak overturned,
Yes.
you've heard this, she was trapped underwater, and she felt herself being pulled into the spiritual realm where she met beings that conveyed messages about her life's purpose. Her guides spoke about how she had important work to do in her life, and that her near-death experience was part of her spiritual journey to teach others. Dr. Neal returned to her body after 30 minutes, miraculously revived. And then she went on to share her story in her book, To Heaven and Back. Her spirit guide's message was one of love and encouragement, and the idea that everything happens for a reason, even traumatic events.
Yeah, I watched her experience. Pretty sure it was Netflix's series Surviving Death.
Yes, I think they did cover it on there. That was a great docuseries.
It was. I'd watch it again.
Spirit guides want to send you a message by sending you a whole new pet. So if an animal accidentally comes into your life, and I mean something that means to be a pet, not like, I don't know, a lizard crawling down the wall, but no, like an animal that you're meant to have. You know, like sometimes like people rescue cats or dogs, or sometimes, I don't know, you get gifted a turtle or something, or like a goldfish or whatever. None of these animals are random. And very often, although not always, they are either a message or a symbol from the universe, or your spirit guides or your loved ones from the other side. And of course, you know, you're going to have to dissect the message. Sometimes they're just sending you a new pet so you don't feel as lonely. Sometimes they're sending you a pet as a sign that you have it in your heart right now to take care of somebody else. Maybe you need to take this additional responsibility. Sometimes they may be sending you a pet because, I don't know, your kid got very lonely and very sick and you're trying to figure out a way how to heal your kid. And they're like, hey, here's the pet. And you're like, but I don't have room for the pet. But you guys may be like, yeah, you do. That's going to be the new member of your family. And that is when really you have to adopt.
I might have spoken about this in our pets episode, but during a very traumatic time health-wise in my life where I needed healing, I needed something sent to me, and I asked Spirit, I asked God, I asked my spirit guides, I asked my spirit team, please send a cat to me. And they immediately said Flicker. And I thought, that is the coolest name. That is so cool. And when he came into my life, it was so random. And a woman had just called me out of the blue and said, and it was exactly what I asked for, by the way. It was an orange cat. I wanted an orange cat. And I have this kitten and it's the only male and you want to come and get him. And I was really sick. But when I got him home, he healed me and he continues to heal me. And I thank God every day for this animal because he is that one animal. Some people are lucky to have more than one. They're like one in a million too. And they connect to your heart and they connect to your everything, your soul, your body, and they just heal you from inside out. So I believe that was sent to me through my spirit guides and through God. And I know you've had that too.
Oh, yeah. Especially after losing my 2 cats that I was very bonded with. We went a couple months and I was like, I can never have a cat again. I don't know how I can deal with this heartache.
I know that.
But then it was just me and the dogs. And I'm very much a cat person. And I'm like, this is horrible. I need that.
This is horrible. Well, they bring different things, right? They do. They really do.
Well, I always see dogs bring that masculine energy and cats bring that feminine energy. And especially all my dogs are boys. And even though a cat's a boy, I feel like cats have that different vibrational energy. Cats are they can be hyper, but they have this like calming effect. So without the cat, I was very imbalanced. And then walking through the PetSmart where the adoption things are, and then we just see this cat. And then I was just so drawn. He looked like a combination of both my cats. And we're like, no. But then, he got adopted. We're like, oh, good. Then he came back. And
he was meant to be with you.
Yeah. And then, David acted like, we can't get this cat. Little do I know, on his breaks, he's walking over to PetSmart and talking to the woman and asking about him and getting the deets. And I'm like, okay, so are we going to meet this cat? Like, why are you even asking about it? So then we go and they're like, he's afraid, he doesn't like men, and he's this, he's that. And we sat with him and he just laid across our lap.
Now, was this after you lost your mother as well?
Yes.
So you lost your animals, your 2 besties, and then you lost your mom. And that had to have been, again, divinely guided into your life.
It's like almost one after another.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
See how that works? Spirit guides are working, man. They're working hard.
Yeah. And this cat the people working there were very, acting like he was going to be this very problem cat or something. He was going to be terrified.
Yeah.
The first night he was licking my face. He was just so happy and affectionate. And I feel how much he loves me.
He was meant for you.
Yeah.
I'll never forget this one story. And I know it's on subject, off subject, but there was a woman that I had heard in an interview that said, I love this cat so much, but it keeps running away. It just keeps running away. And I love this cat. And she was just beside herself. Like, I do everything. I take good care of it. I feed it the best food.
Mm-hmm.
She got on the phone with a pet psychic, an animal psychic, and the animal psychic told her, listen, it's not your fault. It's just that this cat belongs to different people. This cat was not meant for you. This cat was meant for a little girl down the street I kept going to. So,
oh, wow.
They're divinely guided or created or who knows, but they're brought in at the right time, and I truly believe spirit guides have a lot to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
And timing is everything. Thank you for joining us on today's journey where we've explored the mysterious and the beautiful world of spirit guides. Remember, the guidance you seek is always within reach. Whether it's a whisper in your heart or a sign from the universe, your spirit guides are here to help you navigate your life's path. So as you go on about your day, keep your heart open and your mind tuned in, because you'll never know when a message from the spirit realm might just be around the corner. Until then, you keep listening to your inner wisdom, and remember the spirits are always with you. Take care, and we'll see you next time on To the Spirit.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
To the Spirit
Podcast.
Supernatural Science
I'm ghost.
Psychic Mystic
Spirits.
Divine Source
Heaven.
It's magic.